Hello friends, welcome to Exampur. I hope my voice is audible. Screen is visible. Everything is set or not, please do let me know about the same so that I can proceed with the lecture. So guys, before going further for the detailed news analysis, daily news analysis, I just want to let you know regarding the Exampur app. You will get to see a lot of advantages out of the batches available only on Exampur app. It is not only making consideration of UPSC, but for other examination, government job, you can make preparation of various batches are available according to your preferences. You can click on the same. For the same, you are just required to get registered on the Exampur app. So do not forget to install the Exampur app through Play Store. You just require to go through these 5 to 6 stages. So on behalf of one article that this is so important, today we are going to discuss on. We are going to read about UBI and what is UBI, Universal Basic Income. It is not about the income but the insurance we are going to discuss today in the very detailed analytical approach. So making out a case for other UPI in India. If we are talking about the UBI, means I'm just talking about the universal basic insurance. We are just trying to provide security to the people as much as possible so that we can raise the level of inclusivity and attain the level of developmental aspect on the wider basis. Okay, so there are good reasons why universal income insurance is better proposition than the universal basic income. You can make the differentiation between these two aspects. First, always you should go for the economical analysis with the help of key points and just try to segregate the term what is given on the basis. What is the basis given in the terminologies? You are just required to make the understanding on these two parts. UBI, Universal Basic Income, we used to discuss. Today we are going to talk about the insurity. As the name suggests itself, it is talking about the security basis. Means you are providing your contribution, you are making efforts to have income level. Like you are showing your work performance and efforts so that contribution in the form of capacity you are making to the economy. Okay, you are not getting income just by sitting idle, which is happening in case of income. Which is happening in case of universal basic income. You are getting income on the universal level without doing anything. Or insurance is all about the security which should be available so that a kind of assurity should be there with people that yes, we do have that much of capacity to make contribution in the economy. And what kind of assurities we are talking about, we are going to discuss in detail on the further dimension and why we are just supposing that in universal basic insurance would always be a better parameter if we are making comparison with the universal basic income. I hope this is very much understood. And second is all about, it took the COVID-19 pandemic to expose the precarious of human society across the world. What do we mean by it? The way we are continuously making the this is quite irrelevant to the topic, but in order to understand the inequality gap, and due to that reason we are trying to increase the base, we are trying to subsume the common people into the parameters as much as possible. So if we want to include the human society of the world into the periphery, we need to create the infrastructure on that behalf. We need to provide the security basis to the people so that they can get into the program and make contribution to the economy. But if we continue to provide the services for free, they will get leisure. they will get a kind of lethargy. People may not making any kind of contribution in the economy, which is also considered as the idle resource for the economy. Okay, so we would have to exceed our topic towards the importance of the social securities came into the focus after the major waves of pandemic. The debate of universal basic income began to resurface in policy across the world. What we are talking about, if we do if I would prefer to make the example of Switzerland. Once upon a time, referendum has been taken place in order to provide the UBI. People themselves refuse to take the benefit of UBI just because what if we'll get lethargy and it would be considered as the idle resource and unused resource for the economy and unwanted burden for the economy, which can continue to be the part of our economy. Okay, so such kind of reasonable impacts has been given, or such kind of inferences has been put by the people of Switzerland while declining for the universal basic income, which is possible. Is it possible this is in case of Indian economy? No, not at all. If we are getting income for free, we love to have it. Okay, so in case of Switzerland, since the economy is totally developed, they just want to make their contribution towards the economy. They refuse to have the benefit of universal basic income just because there is possibility to get lethargy and could become a dependent or the dependent part of the economy. So what is another aspect of UBI need to be examined in Indian context and universal basic insurance we are talking about. Okay, so before discussing the second UBI and insurance, second UBI means we are talking about the insurance trying to provide the social security to people as much as possible. So this UBI is totally for the security basis, and what kind of security we are talking about, we have to just divide those portions on the basis we have to make the consideration of. So first is all about line of basic living wages. Getting my point? Line of basic living wages means whatever salary we are getting, at least that should be enough to making the survival basis. Okay, so wages would be sufficient enough to fulfill the basic requirement of our selves. And second line is to have is to fulfill or is just to cover the poverty trap, and you are providing the security basis. First is all about wages, second is all about security you are getting in order to enhance the capacity of the economy. Like if you are making money expenditure on the capacity, on the health expenditure, that is raising your potential, or if your potential is going up, means contribution towards the economical activity would go up. So social security are likely a safety net placed at line 2. This is our first consideration if we do take the things of sustainable development goal. First goal is all about poverty, second goal is all about hunger, and third goal is all about health. Okay, so these three goals we are going to make the consideration into the same segment. Type of security, if you are getting basic level income, you would be able to cover the poverty line and you would be able to fulfill your survival or eradicate the hunger part. You will get healthy. So you are making the consideration of first three target of STJ. Next is all about social security net can be of three type. First is passive safety net, catches falling from the line 1 and fall below the line 2. First is all about talking about the wages scenario. Second is all talking about the social security, and second is active safety net, which works like trampoline, so that those who fall on it are able to bounce back to the one. This is totally making the insurity part, whether things are getting insured, are you getting security basis or not, even if you are working somewhere. you would get reliance on that firm if there would be security enough, if you are making comfort zone over there. But security basis should be a preferential performer for any person to make performance. Next is all about first type safety net, is all about the social assistance program. It is about the income deprived section we are talking about. First is all about the income deprived section, social segment we are taking into the consideration. Second is all about the higher outlay. And third is all about the most desirable option requires the immense resources, institutional capacity. Whether the institution is providing the capacity based programming to you, like in order to provide the comfort zone, are there any other sources rather than income with you, so that you can establish the insurity and the security basis on the basis of institution. Okay, so social security people on the south and of income line need social assistance schemes so that they can make the best contribution in the economy. Income line should have voluntarily insurance. So social security is not only covering food security, that is eradicating the poverty basis. Poverty, like food security, is eradicating hunger basis, and income security is providing the coverage to the poverty, and third is giving coverage to the health. So these targets of SDG coming under the same scenario. So this is you can take it as the better prospect in comparison to the universal basic income. As we are we have divided the segments, into the parameter, that first line is going to make work for the income basis, second is going to work for the security basis, and third is going to work for the surrounding, whatsoever surrounding has been provided by the institutions you are working in. That matters a lot. That gives a kind of assurity to a person that yes, this is a good place to work over. So we are dealing in the insurance case with three segments. First is all about hunger, by providing the food security to people. Second is all about health parameter, which is raising the capacity. Third is all about income, which is taking you out of the poverty trap. So we can consider these universal basic insurance, which would be a better prospect. We can consider it as the better prospect in comparison to the universal basic income. Okay. Next is all about India operates widest spectrum of social security scheme, cater to largest number of people than any other country. Like the way we have made our contribution, the way we have established our umbrella scheme named Ayushman Bharat. This is the biggest or largest scheme which is covering such a huge population in our country. Okay, in the same way, this would be a best programming UBI we are making concern of. Largest number people would be the part of it. First of all, before going for the implementation, we should spread the ideology. We should spread the ideas. We want to make the coverage of the people, and we should be reachable to the segment which is really unreachable, which is really unserved or underserved sections, because our basic target is to equip them. Our basic target is to reduce the ratio of poverty trap, to reduce the ratio of incapable person coming out of the health issues, and to eradicate the hunger proportion. This is our major objective to accomplish. Okay, million of households spread over the vast geography is mind-blogging. Okay, so next point is all about the food security you are talking about. As we are making our concern with not only food security, with not only health, with not only income. So these three parameters already going on the track in the economy. If we do talk about the food security program and first report of the food security, you might have seen a report has come out, and we were performing, Odisha is performing on the top in that behalf. Means we are trying to expand our base by the one nation, one ration card. Why we have established this? Just because our migrants were suffering a lot at the time of pandemic. Due to that reason, we have made the things simpler for those bases. Even if they are making migration, even they are getting shifted from one place to another, they will not get to see such kind of problems over there. So, world largest food security program, midday meal, are provided free lunch under the midday meal program. Besides the education comes with the role of awareness. The more the people educated, the more awareness would be there regarding the schemes, regarding the capacity and knowledge bases. Next is all about 50 million people are equipped for the free meal programs from the few state governments. So here we are talking about not only the food security program. I am not letting you know about the facts because these keeps changing. And second is all about midday meal that is still working in order to reduce or eradicate the hunger basis. It is already running into the picture, and few governments has also made the establishment in which Jharkhand has played amazing role whenever we study about the food security. Next is all about and financial sustainability could only issues of financial sustainability and leakage in food security programs are there. Okay, these could be, there is full chance of making the sustainable basis of financial issues. Like financial stability would always be there if you are making upgradation on the education and health issues, which is really raising your capacity, making you that equipped that you would not be unemployed, as you would have more and more scopes to get equipped yourself somewhere. At least you will get financial stability. Why you get to see the uncertainty and the like frequency that you are not making indulge in any work. These kind of possibility would only arise only in case of when you are not that equipped to perform the task in that while. Okay, so food security is all about. For unorganized sector, there is Ayushman Bharat scheme of central government. And next is all about, this is unorganized scheme. This is with reference to the health you are talking about. And the schemes are under the central government. Second scheme is from the employee. It is for the employee just to make concern about the health issues. Employee State Insurance Corporation and the central government health scheme, 130 million, 4 million beneficiaries respectively, the part of organized sector. Like if you are making concern of the health insurance of the central government and the organized sector as a whole, you are picturizing, and unorganized sector you are also making the consideration. In case of Ayushman Bharat of the central government, with reference to the health we are talking about right now. Earlier in the last slide you were talking about the food security. Now you are talking about the health issues and making the segregation on behalf of, making the classification on behalf of organized and unorganized sector. Okay. So state government cover about 200 million people and 110 million people in India have private health insurance. It is good, but 400 million people are still out of the coverage. Getting my point? If these are out of the coverage, we have to come them under the coverage. This is our major prospects. In the earlier slide, in the last slide, our main aim is to build the income basis, is to build the is to take the people out of the poverty line, reduce the hunger basis. Second, this slide, our main is to increase the capability. Even if there is any kind of health issues, we are going to equip people so that potential and capacity could be raised on behalf of our Indian citizens, and which are already not under the health coverage. We have to make them under the coverage. Okay, next income security is all about trickiest part to tackle the social security. Major concern is about like what if I would lose my job? What would be the condition after that? After 60 year, after 50 year, what would be the condition after that? I need to have security on that basis. So major reforms are already there. You are already aware about the fact, but what kind of benefits are inculcating out of the security? You need to make deep focus on those behalf. So general provident fund, if you are talking about to about 20 million central and central state governments employees in economy. If we do talk about the center and state government, and employee provident fund, if you are talking about the other organized sector, 65 million workers are associated with that. And public provident fund, again, this is giving the insurance of the income level, means trying to making you equipped regard whatever concern is there regarding the income. This is also like you can say this insurance part is subsuming the part of universal basic income, but after doing the work. Okay. So these are the part like Indian citizen has contribution from the organized sector. Indian citizen having the access of public provident fund from the other organized sector as well and availed by any Indian citizen whosoever do not have the coverage under the provident fund. So this is all about general provident fund is all about center state government. This is all about organized sector whosoever are not covering under these two part, which can be covered under the third segment. And there are about 53 million new pension scheme subscribers, 5.6 million in state government, rest in the private sector. These are the key figures. You do not need to keep these facts into mind because these keep on changing. So basic concern, you should be aware of how much, what is the role being played by the state and the center government. Second is all about the private like organized sector and what if we are not the part of either of them. Okay. So next is all about unorganized sector, Pradhan Mantri. Till now we were talking about the unorganized sector, state government, center governments. What about the unorganized sector who has suffered a lot at the time of pandemic, even for the food security portion, for the health issues, and if we are talking about the income issues, because if I am not working for 2 days, I would not able to get income. I would not able to make earning out of those 2 days because I am not working over there. So if I am the part of unorganized sector, PM Kisan is availed by about 120 million farmers. Atal Pension Yojana benefit 40 million people, and Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Yojana or Mandhan Yojana has, these are making the preferential activities for working more. They are making the programs regarding the same, that Kisan Mandhan Yojana and Atal Pension, these are schemes which has been launched. E-Shram Yojana, lots of compensation has to be there if you are getting registered in that portal. So these are the programs being established for the unorganized sector in order to give the income insurance to them. You are already aware about the PM Kisan and the Mandhan Yojana, Shram Yogi, E-Shram Yojana. So these are giving a kind of insurance about the income basis that you are not required to take lot of stress regarding the income. We are going to provide. So largest unorganized sector, you might have heard of MG which has about 60 million beneficiaries already out of 500. And about 100 million no income security has been given in case of pension, gratuity, other income coverage. They are not coming under any income, basic income, side the informality of the Indian economy. So as you are the part of informal sector, you need to get the formalization. You need to make the economy formalized so that data analysis could be done, and accordingly you can get the access of the programmings available on behalf of government. So why UBI? So this is the summarized point of view. You can take the things into consideration that other UBI, why we are just emphasizing on the word by making the word other UBI. Why this is other UBI? Because earlier we used to talk about the universal basic income. Now we are emphasizing on the word universal basic insurance in order to provide the security not only for the income but for the health and the food as well as. So this is going to be a wider terminology, better segment in order to making us equipped regarding 3 targets of sustainable development goal. So, universal basic insurance better proposition for 2 reasons. Now, you have another parameters to just measure why we can consider the better by making it better proposition. Like insurance penetration, we are talking about insurance penetration. Like this is so low in case of India. If we do make comparison with China, if we do make comparison with Japan and the Taiwan, in case of Taiwan, insurance coverage is all about 17. In case of Japan, 9. China is about 6%. So insurance coverage on behalf of GDP, this is like lower in case of India. If we make comparison with Taiwan, Japan and China. Okay, 2 rather remain informal. One of the biggest problem India is facing right now, and we are also working by making the things digitalized now. So we have to work on this point. Remain the informal, we have to turn it into the formalized sector, as we have already strengthened the base for our businesses with the help of GST. And with the help of GST, things are moving towards formalization. And for informal workers, like gig economy, that is getting done, that is getting equipped with the digitalization media and the e-Shram Yojana portals being developed by government. Things has to get registered. If you are getting registered, things are moving towards the formalization. Obviously, ultimately, formalization is going to grab lots of data, and out of that data, you could avail the benefit, whatever being provided to you in a shorter case, in a shorter view. So, as a result of recent initiative, eShram and GST, I have already told about Social Security portal. In order to get, in order to be very specific, if we talk about Karnataka Kutumba is available as a portal in the form of blueprint for the social security for, with the perspective of unorganized sector, what kind of programming and portal has been accommodated by them. We can work. Obviously, we would require a kind of layout to perform. If Odisha is performing on food security, so we can take a glance of what kind of characteristics and what kind of filings has been done by the Odisha. We can opt for it and perform better in the food security. In the same way, this we can take the help of this portal and see, have a look towards the performance according to ourselves, according to the as per our comfort zone. We can make establishment of such portal and get the get the satisfaction out of the security we want to avail. So basically, this is the better prospect we are talking about. And again, I am just letting you know, UBI earlier we used to talk about universal basic income. It used to be. Now it has turned out to be universal basic insurance we are talking about right now. What do we mean by insurance? It is totally related to security basis. And at the time of pandemic, many of the people, especially in case of migrants, whosoever do not have access, like in case of unorganized sector, we do not used to have the access of social security, and out of that insecurity, they were suffering a lot and ultimately suffering the economy, because if you are not making contribution in the economy, it is the drawback for economy, as some portion of productive resources has gone down. Okay. So, discussing about the second UPI, looking at the designing for the social security, type of the security you are talking about, your main basic aim is just to take you out of the poverty. How would you take it? By making the assurity of the security. So you are not only making concern with the social security, you are not making only concern with the resources, but also the environment you are living in, whether that environment is giving you that much of essence to live over there or not, because these are only the things going to build the capacity with you. So next is all about encompasses the food security, health and income security. Food, health and income. Three are the main bases playing a key role in the first three targets of SDG. Next is all about widest spectrum of social security scheme cater to largest number of people than other country. So this is all about the food security. We are talking about that we do already have a major programming, food security program 2013, largest program in the entire world, midday meal we are talking about, and the few states launching different kind of food security programs. And next is all about the health security. They are giving the major insurance, taking the government firms, and this is for the organized sector. And the health insurance, if the things like if people are not getting covered under the insurance, we need to cover them. This is our major objective in order to increase the inclusivity. Okay. This is all about income insurance. This is for the government aspect. This is from the organized aspect. And last is on the behalf of unorganized sector, that how we are providing the insurance to the unorganized sector by providing PM Kisan, Mandhan Yojana, Shram Mandhan Yojana, E-Shram portal and all, making the formalization for the sector. And how the formalization is helping us out. Many of the people are there who do not have access of income security, and you can just talk about the insurance scheme that you are also subsuming the portion of income, universal basic income. This is how the basic proposition of the insurance is quite better in comparison to the income part. Okay. So why the insurance part is better proposition on two behalf? Because India do not have good coverage due to the informal character, and we are trying to expand the formalization by spreading the digitalization, by making the interconnectivity of the business with the GSTN and the E-Shram Yojana. If you might have heard of, E-Shram Yojana is providing the compensation things and the social security if you are getting registered under the portal. Okay, so this is all set for the GST, E-Shram and Karnataka. You can take a glance in order to make a boost to the social security part. So this is for the NCERT Darshan batch. You will get to see different subjects and you will get a clear glance regarding the basic conceptual basis. You might have already studied the NCERT book in order to know the best optimum utilization, and in order to know whether you are really aware about the NCERT or not, you would be given workbooks with the lots of questions. You can look at the number of the questions. You will get a clear glance and the deep knowledge regarding the subject, as you are aware about the fact this is the basic requirement of the UPSC to have faith on the NCERT books. Even beyond that, if you are facing any query, any doubt, you can just raise those doubts in the Zoom meeting and you will get to see the solution of those problems. These are the benefits, this kind of sequential basis, and with the limitation of time, you will get it done. Okay, so do not forget to take the advantage out of the batches given on the Exampur app only. So G20 in New Delhi's choice geopolitical current, redefining geoeconomics. India need to be ready to emerge as chief global diplomats. G20 group of 20, we are talking about the economic issues, not only the economic issues, trying to make the decision making and why we should be reliant on such a group of group of 20 nations. Why this can play a very significant role. I am going to talk about in the detailed analysis and what kind of challenges are coming into the picture while developing the economic aspects, while developing the environmental role and any kind of geopolitical transactions. So what kind of key challenges coming in the way? Importance, what kind of importance? As I have already told you that this is the significant role played by this group and organization, we can say, just because 90% of the world GDP, and 80% trade and 67% planet population, Janta, you get to see under the group of 20 nations only. You can imagine what kind of significant role played by this. As major countries are the part, top most populated countries are the part of G20 nation. You can take the glance of what India, China, USA. Obviously, they have to be this. They have to play the significance role. So, 90% GDP, 80% global trade, and 67% planet population. Such a huge contribution you get to see under these basics. So, you can imagine what kind of role could be played by them. Guided by triple motivation of promoting India's national interest. If you talk about the India's choice, leaving its mark on G20, maintaining its privacy as effective instrument of global governance, and 4 different ideas have emerged in Delhi. Why we are just continuously talking about future of multilateral cooperation? First of all, we are going to just discuss why the multilateralism is going down, as the interlinkage between the countries are going down, as you get to see different or monotonous nature of currency you get to see, and sanctioning of those monotonous currency can cause a disastrous role or disastrous impact on the country. You might have seen in case of Russia, various level of sanctioning has been done by them. US has imposed sanction on the Russia. Due to that reason, 25 countries of Africa is still under the hunger condition, food crisis, and majority of the countries who were so dependent on Russia for the not only for the crude oil, but also for the alternatives of the energy sources. And this kind of step, which has been there into the picture without given a single thought, has caused a kind of disastrous energy crisis into the scenario. So you can imagine what kind of disastrous rollback you can get in your case as well. So multidimensional agenda we can play under the group of 20, yes, we admit on it. But in case of multilateralism, due to this interconnectivity is also causing the fluctuation at the time of any step, which is making a negative impact on any single country. Due to the connectivity between the countries, it is also making impact on other countries. The way US has imposed sanction on Russia. Okay, imposed sanction on Russia. So Russia has not only caused other countries, like many countries, number of countries are being impacted due to that reason, in case of food shortage, food crisis, and the energy crisis. To be very specific, I would try to making the correlation of the food crisis with the developing countries, and in case of energy crisis, you can just think for the developed countries. So first G20 presidency offered unique branding opportunity for India recent achievement. The way we have made contribution in the vaccine at the time of a pandemic, in that case, if we have to prove a role of representative into the segment, if you have to play a like representative role and create a kind of aura before the global scenario. So you have already contributed in pandemic scenario by making contribution of vaccine and digital revolution you are trying to make. The way I've discussed about the digital lending yesterday, that was a first step being taken by the RBI just to enhance the reachability of the people, just to increase the inclusivity of the people. Next is all about steady progress towards the way we are trying to increase the alternatives beyond crude oil so that we can get least dependent on oil by increasing the alternatives and by moving towards the renewable resources. And what is the basic base of attaining this? This is our own country's resources. We are not required to take the help of other countries if the manufacturing sector is not being considered, because for the basic requirement of manufacturing panel, manufacturing resources, we have to still get dependent on other countries. So in order to have the clear view on one side that we are moving towards the renewable resources, we are looking after the neutrality aspect, yes, we are performing so good at it. And the entrepreneurship aspect, I have told you about that. The way you might have seen, we are on number 3rd in case of unicorn. It would come under the segment when we do talk about the $1 billion. If it is going beyond that, you are coming under the unicorn status. In case of startups, unicorns, we are playing a disastrous, amazing, in a positive sense I'm talking about, we are playing an amazing role. So if we are on number 3rd position, obviously we might have attained a good role, and we were trying to make, our expectation was to go beyond the 100 number of unicorn, and we have attained that in July. Okay, this is the report up to 15th or 16th July. So if we have proceeded towards 105 unicorns, and how we have attained that, because in the very starting of this year, you have attained addition of single unicorn every 5th day. So you have attained this goal, and whatever expectation you have made, that was able to transform into the reality. So suboptimal physical infrastructure, in order to, like if I have to make investment, I would require the proper scenario, proper investment, like investment curriculum, like environment to make spending on that character. If the transportation facility is there, if the health facility is there, everything, energy sources are available or not, I need to think about every aspect. In order to make the equipment, in order to provide the proper planned manner to the investor, we are making contribution with the help of PM Gati Shakti, trying to project our potential with the help of like infrastructural basis by expanding the supply chain with the consideration of country by attracting the investment and the tourism destination. Next is all about four democracies on the path of becoming powerful economic player: Indonesia, India, Brazil, and South Africa. Powerful countries and supposed to be hold the presidency between the year 2021 and 25, and synergy, innovation, opportunity to make the establishment for solidarity, and the synergy innovation outcomes could be there. The most basic concept, as per my opinion, that is to make the interconnectivity between the sector. If you are making interconnectivity with the education segment, that is preparing your personnel to have a grip on the edge. Next is all about another exception coincidence is that all three members of India, Brazil and South Africa will hold G20 presidency consecutively in 2003, 4 and 2023, 24, 25. Inclusivity approach with pragmatic and human-centric approach should be there, as we have to discuss not only about the economical issues, environmental, every segment geopolitical, we need to make consideration of every a developing economy and the poorer economy we are talking about. You would get shocked to know that 68% contribution in case of pollution being emitted by only 10 countries. Okay, so rest countries are suffering due to these 10 countries. And out of the 100 countries, poorer nations I am talking about, the least emitting countries I am talking about, only making the contribution of 3%. Who are the real sufferer out of the cost being undertaken by the developed nation? So they have to bear that cost by providing the resources in order to make the equipments for them. So these are the basic requirement. These basic proportions and the inclusive nature should be there. As we are talking about the group of 20, so you need to have the inclusive approach. You need to get along with the developing or the poorer countries. Plus, you should keep the things into mind regarding the human-centric approach with the preference of human-centric solutions. You have to make establishment. Suppose at the time of pandemic when you were coming out of the vaccine criteria, things were under the talk that we should make it competitive so that it could increase the supply and could become reachable to the section. So we are trying to make the exemptions in case of health issues if it is widespread to the extent level, to the largest level. So we can just get a release. We can just give a loose hold on that behalf so that people would not suffer out of the policies being undertaken by the international organization. So our approach would always for the human-centric approaches, but this is not always true because we are giving the solution, we are giving the responsibility for the solution to the countries who are causing those questions, who are causing these problems to the poorer countries. Like countries who is suffering right now, those are poorer and the developing countries. Who has caused such kind of problems to these countries? Only the developed countries, and we are also giving the responsibilities to the developing countries that come and solve the basic problems we are suffering. Again, they are getting the hold of responsibility. Who is causing the problem? You are the ultimate bearer of the problem. You are feeling that bearing the cost. So you would be responsible enough to have the solution of the problems, so that you can get better equipped in the solutions. Next point is all about the Darshan batch. I have already explained regarding the batch. Do not forget to take the advantage in the Darshan batch. Again, I am telling you regarding the G20 nation. Why this is under the talk? Because India is among the nation who is holding the going to hold the presidency of the group of 20. And in that we have many key challenges coming under the way when we discuss about the economic issues, climatic changes and the population scenario. And this is making a significant role. This is making a significant role in the economy. 67% of the planet population, it is advisory body, like as significant this is. So we need to make the dependence on such organization so that they can do something. So India's perspective, we are talking about if we have to play a key role in the entire global scenario, we should go for the multilateral mechanism. Obviously, if you have to represent before 20 people, you just have to deal with 20 people. If you have to represent with 1 crore people, you have to deal with 1 crore people. In the same way, if you want to represent the entire world, you need to go for the multilateral approach. You need to go for the competitive ways. You need to strengthen up your competitive base, which is losing day by day. In case of, you can take the example of Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, where you have already come out of the partnership. Now members would remain be 15. Next, G20. Why? What kind of achievement is there with India in case of vaccine, digital revolution, renewable resources we are making shift on, entrepreneurship we are talking about. These are the democracy going to hold the presidency and have a rare opportunity for synergy and the solidarity. Next is all about inclusive approach, human-centric solutions. So this is all about the batch. And do not forget to attend the class from 9 to 10 for the economic static part and 12 to 1 for the DNA, daily news analysis. As this is going to establish the comfort zone with you people, do not forget to take the advantage out of the session getting at these time. Thank you so much. Have a great day to all of you.